just a moment. We'll be ready about a minute and a half. I'm getting a few things prepared. I was cooking, running just a little bit late. But like I said, give me just a moment and we will be ready to have a great conversation this evening. A lot of things to talk about. I hope everybody is doing well. We have to have a discussion about a very traumatizing situation that took place recently. And I just want to kind of dive into it a little bit and we'll get on that. So with that being said, give me just a moment, about 90 seconds, and we should be ready to go in this thing. This evening. My bad, I need to turn that down. All right. First and foremost, make sure you're in the live chat, not in the top chat. Okay. And let's see. You know how we rocking. All right. I see the lovely D the Gamma. Always good to see you, ma'am. Hope all is well. The lovely Miss Bell, Southern style. I doubt that. Northern style, because she doesn't like the sugar and the sweet tea. Good to see you. Let's see, Jabari. What's the motherfucking deal? Beyond, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Chill out. What's the motherfucking deal? HT Jason. Always good to see you, sir. What's the motherfucking deal? Michelle's here. If you're into that kind of thing, good to see you, Michelle. Always the lovely Miss Michelle. Good to see you as well. So, you know how we do. I can guarantee you an hour. If we reach halfway through the goal, then in the second hour we'll open up the lines. We will have some deeper conversation. We'll get into some things. Um, let's talk about it, right? Because I'm gonna be honest. I've been kind of low key. I haven't been streaming too much this week. Um, I've been taking a lot more hiatuses away from the electronics, right? Because especially during the political season, it's a lot of drama, it's a lot of turmoil, it's a lot of nonsense, a lot of bickering, a lot of arguing, and ultimately, when it comes down to it, you can't argue someone out of their opinion. You can prove all the facts, you can prove all the truths that you may want to. You may provide all the evidence um, and accuracy that you may want to. But if a person just has an emotional tie to something, or they just connect to something in a certain way, it doesn't matter, right? Like you can't argue somebody out that chocolate is a better flavor than strawberry or whatever it may be. So I try my best not to get too much into it because to me it's just it can be pointless. And sometimes people just say some real stupid shit, and you kind of got to intervene. I've been working on it, right? Because I don't know if Instagram may be raising up my blood pressure. I'm doing numbers, but my blood pressure is my sanity is very thing. You gotta pardon me. So I will be eating because, like I said, I just finished cooking. I was making me some tacos, so I may be here, I may be there. Okay. Um, but I want to talk about Sonya Massey, right? And I may be saying it wrong because, like I said, I don't listen to shit, and maybe that's a problem. I just tend to read, and so I pronounce things the way I read stuff. I hadn't watched a lot of videos. Well, I saw the video, but again, it wasn't like he was saying her name in the video. I saw what took place, and I have a few thoughts on this whole thing. And I don't want to speak about some people that a lot of people tend to follow. And these are people I've spoke about before, because especially when we're talking about political season, because a lot of people start grifting for political season. But I think you have some people who just grifted their whole social media, entertainment, whatever career. So we're gonna talk about that too. Cage Tech, yes, it absolutely will be. I've been lacking, like I say, just it's been a weird couple of weeks, and I know that we're deep in the training camp. I know we're missing some fights today, but we will get some sauce. Some sauce will be dripping next week. I've been, yeah, we're gonna be rocking. I got a few different ideas. There's gonna be some different sauce too. Um, but so when it comes to this situation, man, uh, I tend to try to look at everything for the facts, right? And I like to look at everything for the information that's provided, the situation that is. From just watching the video, right? And again, I could care less what the call was. I'm just saying from the interactions that took place. And you can say, oh, this is emotional, you're being biased. And fuck all that, right? There's no justification because we can look at it police officer, criminal. We can look at it the way I look at it more so as man. Well, like I have a huge issue. Like I get it. Being a cop's a tough job. It's a job you choose. You get what you get, whatever out of it. So I don't overly praise it. I understand it. I get it. Cool, whatever. Um, there are situations that require real life-threatening, tough decision making. This was not one of those situations. This absolutely was not one of those situations. At no point in time did that man truly fear for his life. The lovely Miss K. Garcia, good to see you. At no point in time. And if you did, it also makes sense why you've been into what, 6 police departments in 4 years. This is why certain things with law enforcement do need to be reconsidered, right? Like you shouldn't be able to fuck up one place and just go to another place and get a fresh start, right? And let's talk about licenses, right? Having a license to carry, having a license to practice medicine. I ever think about licenses. License to drive. Anything that requires you to have a license is dealing in death somehow. Like somehow, some way, there's a possibility of death on the other end. You ever think about that? Like it's a thing that requires you have to because and it's weird, right? And I didn't think about this till like earlier this week. Don't ask me why I was thinking about it. Don't, it might have been something I saw. But anything that requires a license in some way, form, or fashion involves the possibility of death, right? To be able to practice whatever you're practicing with that license involves the possibility of death. Um, if the possibility of death occurs, I think these licenses need to be reevaluated. Give me 1 second. So how much I'm going to say. I'm not going to say what I was going to say because y'all are terrible, dirty people in this conversation. Um, but there's nothing that I saw. Oh my bad. So with two DUIs, who I'm not even sure. Who had the two DUIs? Was the cop had the two DUIs or the crazy lady? So I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw the video, I thought this was an old woman. Right when I heard the context, what was it? In Jesus' name, what's the word? I forgot the phrase. Oh yeah, and sure as shit. If you get a DUI, you shouldn't be a fucking cop because you shouldn't be driving a fucking cop car. I rebuke you. I couldn't think of the word. I was about to say besmirch. And pardon me, I know I'm smacking all in the mic and all. Man, I'm hungry. Okay, I rebuke you. How does that make you that angry? Like even when holding the pot, like there are situations where I've watched like a lot of those crazy cop videos where they're like in certain traffic stops, motherfuckers start shooting out the back of the fucking window, or as soon as you go, like I've seen instances where it's a matter of life and death in a few seconds, right? If anybody's getting rebuked, it's you, Michelle. And I completely understand. At no point in time did I see a scenario where that occurred. Right. Now I saw only in the house. Like even the thumbnail that I used, that's a little bitty woman. I don't know how tall the cop was. I don't know, whatever. Right. And I'm not saying that a woman can't be dangerous, can't say that she could have a pistol, a knife, whatever. But it seems as though somehow you had to have decent enough conversation with her to get from outside on the porch to inside. And then all of a sudden it's just turned into a I thought he was putting a curse on him. I know it's a biblical thing, right? Basically, like, I rebuke you, Satan. Like I don't the ill energy or the ill movement that you're putting towards me. I'm trying to repel it. Very poorly worded, but you know what I'm saying. And so it's not a situation where I rebuke you means I'm going to shoot you or any of that. And I don't. Pardon me, I bit my tongue. At no point, woman has water on the stove, even if it was a possibility being hit with scalding hot water, right? If you were that concerned, would you rather put distance between you and the person, or would you rather end that person's life? You know what I mean? Like, there's certain decisions there's certain decisions, even when there's danger, that don't require gunfire. And even if she was putting a curse on him, I guarantee this motherfucker done dealt with 50 crackheads in his life that had put curses on him and everything else. He dealt with drunk old white ladies and been to all kind of different houses. And I'm not trying to make light of it. Like they need to test this dude with like steroids, some meth, psychiatric evaluation. Like, what about that statement makes you fly off the handle? Now, again, right. He came in there talking crazy. It's a little bitty woman. In no way, form, or fashion was there any reason, like, from what I saw, right? And again, the media can chop stuff up, so I have not seen a fully extended video of it, and I will be looking for it. So if I do need to correct any of my statements, then I will do so. But there's nothing that you can tell me. There's nothing that you can say to me. There's nothing that you can convince me of that what is supposed to be a trained professional, right? A trained professional. This is a mild situation, and I'll be honest with you, right? Let kind of let me kind of explain something here. Let me just make sure I got my information right, right? Like this guy here has a history of misconduct, right? I don't know. People talk about the tattoos. It's yeah, you can play the tattoo game. I have no confirmation here or there, so I'm not even going to play that, right? Am I going to sit here and act like there aren't gangs within and police departments? Absolutely, there are. Man, fuck it. I want to say some niggas in HPD just some HPD motherfuckers, if I ain't mistaken, just got caught up in some shit, right? So there's gangs within these police departments. I'm not saying he is in one, he ain't in one. But we're not going to be foolish and act like there isn't. Right? Training Day was a documentary. We said you better not. I rebuke you. You better not. I ain't even hear that. Again, not to make like it just the situation, the scenario is so crazy that it would end up the way that's what's so wild about it. This is a large dude. I don't like I said, I don't know what how tall he is. She could have just been a very little woman. But just kind of run it down for those who may not. I'm pulling off of ABC News. Um, right? Yeah. Was that black guy one day in Memphis or something like that? Now, I'm trying to tell you, they got him in LA. There have been known gangs. I forgot what they call them. When they catch bodies, like they add a little tattoo, add a little smoke to their tattoo. I agree with him. Right, he came in there with an intent. Like I said, I don't know what crossed the threshold, what made that decision, because afterwards you start to see him making up the lie. And again, any what he cut his body cam off, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody who was in agreement, yeah, I saw her throw the boy. What like they all need to be charged with conspiracy or murder, because once you start trying to make the scene up before calling for help, backup, or anything like that, you committed a crime, right? You see a lot of these videos. I don't know if y'all have seen the ones where a lot of people keep the houses on, keep the light cameras on in the houses, and when the cops are searching for everything, they catch them stealing a bunch of shit. Again, temptation, excuse me, can be difficult for anybody. That's what I say. I don't put my faith in any human being, any man, woman. Like I don't elevate anybody because we're all imperfect, right? Um, let's do the 30-second playback. Ah. So let me run down real quick. And like I said, I thought she was an older woman when I first saw it because of how she was dressed, which makes me tend to feel a little bit more favorably for her because I'm not saying she went. I don't know who she was. I don't know nothing about her. Right. But perception is everything. Just like a little old lady in a nightgown, getting ready for bed or whatever she's doing. All right. I'm looking for something specific, right? Sangamon County. I don't even know what that is, where that is. And I'm assuming that maybe after all these instances, Springfield. I guess I don't know how big Springfield is. Like don't let me. Right. It's just it's a tough one, right? Because I'm just thinking about the video, and it's just like you see when she has pot holders in her hand. She ain't even got the fucking pot in her hand. It's just it y'all know me. I've voiced my opinion on many things. I like to think I have a relatively decent sense of fairness, justice, and things like that. It's certain people who have to be in certain positions because they get no power anywhere else. And this dude was a punk in every other level of everything he's been. Like I said, you go into fucking 6 police departments in 4 years, you're a fuck up. You got discharged, dishonorary, I believe, from the military for misconduct. You're a fuck up, right? And this motherfucker's a fuck up, and he's mad at himself because he's been a fuck up his whole fucking life, right? And I guess maybe that just all accumulates, and it just for whatever situation, I don't know, probably caught his girlfriend cheating on him or something. Like I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's like you can look at you can look at him and tell you can look. It's one of those dudes you look at him, you know, if he's getting any pussy, it's one of those chicks that just dig the uniform, right? Like this guy's a lame. He bitch beats bitches. Like you can look at this motherfucker and tell. You know what I'm saying? What's the motherfucking deal, Professor Trill? Like you can tell this motherfucker's a lame. If it wasn't for some form of law enforcement in his life, he'd be a reject. I mean, he'd be a complete reject. He is a reject already, right? But anyway, let me put this up on the thing. We'll read it together. All right. Let me see. Do 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 do. Did I take that off? I might have. Let's see. Let's do this thing. All over the world. No, not that. All right, cool. Do 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 do. All right. Yeah, we're gonna give you a brief synopsis. Right. Speaking of Triller, I talked to my boy Ken today. Or yesterday, something like that. One of those. Anyway, Sonya Massey, an Illinois woman fatally shot by a deputy while responding to her 911 call. And that's the craziest shit. Like, you're the person that calls and you get. It's crazy, right? It really is. Anyway, homicide to a gunshot wound to the head. Autopsy released by the Sangamon County coroner. Though the autopsy did not state the manner of death, uh, Jim Allman, the county coroner, confirmed it was a homicide. Let's see. The bullet that killed Massey, 36. 36 years old, man. 36 years old. You got a lot of life ahead of you, whether you're crazy or not or whatever. And I think they said that the day before, I want to say the day before she was called, right? I think the day before that she was called, or that the police were called. So again, there should be some familiarity. There should be some awareness. You know what I mean? Like that this is a mental health check. That you should have some type of reservation. You should have some type of couth about yourself. You know what I mean? But he just comes off as one of those types, right? And I know you're judging a book by its cover. That's a well read book, okay? Like we know this book. That's one of those books. What do they call them? One of those books basically that damn it, it's not community property. What's the shit where basically anybody can print the book up? It's like it's so old that anybody can do. Basically, I can't think of the term, but it'll come to me in a second. But yeah, Sonya meant the world to me. I love her so much. Tragedy has been so much on my family. Her kids, I don't even know how many kids yet. I don't even know if she was a mother or not. Her daughter can't sleep at night. And this is the hardest thing we've ever been through as a Massey. It breaks my heart that my family has to go through this. I've never once seen her angry or mad. She was always full of love. She loved her kids and God. I'm saying, like, I didn't, because you know me. I'll call a crazy bitch in a hot second, like not think twice about it. No shame, no remorse, no word. Like, no, it's not copyrights. It's a. I'll think of the. It's not. It's not common law. It's a term for it. Fair use, something like that. But I'm a firm believer, right? And we'll get to that. I'm getting distracted before we finish reading the story. Sean Grayson, this guy, and I mean, look at that. This is what I'm saying. Like this guy, look at it. You look at this dude gets no hold. Like you know, they was talking about like the over six, but you could be like an over 6 foot weirdo. And then, like again, I don't know how tall he is. I'm just assuming because the chick was literally look long. Like you can tell he's not necessarily a really well defined guy. He's definitely a user. He uses gear. You know what I'm saying? So his gear probably got the best of him. He probably got a little roid rage going. You know what I'm saying? Like probably a former fat kid. I'm not opening shit. Probably a former fat kid. You know what I mean? And here we are. Right? Here we are. So, and I know they said the unnamed deputy, and the unnamed deputy seemed to be in cahoots. So I don't. We'll talk about that. Anyway, body camera shows Grayson yelling at Max put down a pot of boiling water. She says, "Please don't hurt me." Right. So obviously, you can tell this woman is timid, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. What's happening is you have people who know who get a kick out of. It is very important. Like, see, Michelle, this I know you don't know shit about men. It is very important. This motherfucker's 30, right? I don't know if he's married or not. He probably forced some bitch. Probably the one chance that he did, just put a hole in the rubber. He looks like one of those. He looks like a guy that'll put a hole in his own rubber just to try to bag one to keep him around. Um, yeah, and that's the wild shit that she didn't. But it does matter, right? Because he's probably angry. He probably tries to work out, tries to look good to hope to get some, and he ain't getting no bitches. So now he's got all this roid rage, all this pent up testosterone that he can't use, right? Because it's not working. And again, that's what think about it. Like think about all the weirdos, like the alleged attempter, like who just tried to attempt on Trump. Do you think he was getting any hoes? No. Think about like every mass shooter. Think about every like major tragic event that's not government backed. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. Look at them and tell me they don't all look like motherfuckers who ain't had no pussy since pussy had them. Right? If they weren't like a test tube baby. Some of these motherfuckers look like they was made in the lab. Right? Like that's the kind of motherfucker he looks like. It is so it's he's got the excessive force haircut, exactly. That's definitely a couple of lightning bolts somewhere on his shoulder or some shit. You said Horner his latest search affairs looked at. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm trying to tell you, like this dude. This is a dude that like. He looks like a big grown fucking undeveloped child. Like I said, he was fucking been getting his stupid ass haircut for whoever knows. Like, and again, think about it. It's just like he's already knowing his best days are behind him. You know what I'm saying? He's just a loser. And they're really behind him now. He's gonna have some of his best buddies behind him. But like I said, it's a situation where, bro, there's nothing you can, not to me, this is clear and cut murder. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, there, again, pot of water versus pistol. That woman has a limited range as far as she could probably fling a pot of water, which we know she wasn't going to. But again, if she answers the door, don't hurt me. She's, again, like I said, she just came across timid. The way she dropped, put her hands up, like he had it in his mind before it was all said that he was going to kill this woman. There are people, there are sick people who get off on it. Again, I believe a couple of things. And y'all can, I'm finna start getting into the real den conspiracy. I'm finna start getting it to y'all raw again. I believe a couple of things. I believe that, well, it's been confirmed that they believe that there's as many as 2,000 serial killers out there, right? And I believe there's more. I believe many of them drive trucks, and I believe many of them are in police departments. Right, right. Why truckers moving across the country, kind of hard to track. Generally, probably killing off a lot of lizards, so who cares? Police officers who understand how the process works, so they know what to and what not to, how to operate when unaliving or hiding people. You feel me? Uh, yeah. I mean, he did. Like I said, no, I don't drive any trucks. No, absolutely not. um, but so that's the thing. Like, and it was in his mind. But think about it. You have predators and you have prey. This man was a predator. This is why he worked in law enforcement. He got off on intimidation. I guarantee you this. I guarantee he got his rocks off on being able to intimidate and punk motherfuckers. I guarantee you, wherever he goes on vacation, he will not be half as aggressive as he was with that woman. Why he ain't got a gun? Two, he ain't built like that, right? Uh I'm just saying these are things that I believe. I'm not judging. These are simply matters that I believe. Again, do, 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 do. Now, I'm not gonna make any lost that. Do, 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 do. 6 law enforcement agencies in 4 years means you're not lasting a year anywhere. How do you not last, like, with all the leeway, the leniency that a lot of these law enforcement agencies have for each other, the blue wall, all of these things. I mean, the legal back, like everything that what's the union and all that shit that you have. How the fuck are you that big of a fuck up? Like this is the fault of law enforcement, right? This is the fault of law enforcement hiring. Okay. This happened because it was allowed to happen. The red flags have been showing from department to department to department to department, right? I don't know how the system works. If I can just resign and this don't go on my record, or I don't. Again, we talked about licenses and what licenses mean, right? Like whether you have a doctor's license, your nurse, you have to have a license to fucking spray pesticide, right? A license equals death. Um, Anywho, there's no excuse that this was allowed to take place. You say, second body cam, I didn't see any water. I saw her drop her hands up. And again, you show me a pot of water versus a pistol in a situation like that. You're a professional. There's nothing you can tell me. That's a man who wanted to execute, and he did. Let me see if this shows. Look, I don't want what you call it. Let me make sure it don't show too much. So tells her who I'm trying to see who it is. I can see. I'm trying to make sure I don't want to. There's nothing you can still get. And I'm watching right now. I'm gonna pull up on that. I just want to make sure it don't show them. Okay, it's blurred. So this is what I'm gonna show y'all this clip here. We'll do that. I'm gonna play with the sound. I guess we can get the sound on it to make sure. Let's do that. Let's bring it back to the. Oh no, I don't want that. Nah, nigga. All right, cool. So this is what we'll do. Give me a second. I'm gonna put the sound on. Cause like I said, I haven't. I've listened to a good chunk of it. Make sure I see that clearly. All right. Do, 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 do. Let's see.
Outside my house, y'all. Illinois State Police released body cam footage showing the final moments of Sonya Massey's life, the Springfield area woman who was fatally shot by one of the responding deputies to a 911 call she made. Massey called 911 because she thought an intruder was in her home, according to the lawyer representing her family.
We checked your yard, we walked around the whole block, we didn't see anybody.
Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson and another deputy responded to the call around 12:50 a.m., authorities said. The deputies searched the property and found no intruder. The deputies then asked Massey to check on a pot of boiling water on the stove.
Check on her. No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of
You better God, I swear to God, I'll you straight your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! Drop the pot! I'm gonna go get my kid. No, headshot, dude. She's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. God damn it. God. Dude, I'm not taking boiling water to the head. Hey, look, it came right to our feet, too.
Grayson has been indicted on 3 counts of first-degree murder and a count each of aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct. The sheriff's department has fired Grayson. At his arraignment, Grayson entered a not guilty plea and was denied pretrial release, according to court records.
Again, I look at it like this. Right? Too much. There's no way. I don't care if it hit your feet. I don't care. Step back, away from the pot. If you felt in danger, step back, get out the house. Right? Like you told her to go get the pot. Whatever. You don't want the fire. Cool. Whatever. There's no justification. You can't sell me. There's no. I look. Right, and y'all know how I feel about a lot of shit. You can't say it's a small ass little broad. Dog. You know that she's got issues. I'm gonna avoid the interaction, right? And I think most people, especially if you're a sizable man, in your day-to-day life, this is what you do. There are many situations in where you know that I could overwhelm the situation and take advantage and wheel and deal and handle it however I want to. But there's a lot of times I'd rather just create space just to minimize the issue, minimize the piece. That was that was a right there. Right? There's no justification, right? There's not like over aggressive. Right? And I don't know what his other issues were. I don't know what it is. Over aggressive. One, that little lady wasn't tossing that fucking pot of water to the fucking, she was barely getting it. Right? Um, there ain't no way fucking, bro. Now she dropped as soon as you drew down on her. She dropped. Right? and maybe the pot was in her hand. It spilled at that point and kind of flew out. Like I said, I have to see the slow motion. I didn't see a really good angle there, to me, in my opinion. There's no fucking way though. Like I'll and I'd hate to like I'd probably take a little. I'd take a little bit of that bird, and we're gonna put her where she needs to be. Right? Like I could not. I could not exist. No, like something that trivial. Like again, you come rushing at me with a knife. Different fucking story. I'm not gonna fucking die from a pot of fucking boiling water. My grandma burned my grandpa one time with a pot of boiling water. He was out there cheating in them streets. They stuck with it to the very end. Right? And again, that's what I said. To me, it's like you told her to go get like that. This is my conundrum. You told her to go get it. Like it's almost like you were just kind of like, why are you still there? You said you checked the premises. Hey man, we checked. We didn't see anybody. We looked around. We got nothing. We're sorry. Hey, we got to go. Like, what are we lingering around for? What are we hanging around for? Like that's what I'm asking. Like it went from well, the check she called. They come at the door. Hey, we looked around. We don't see anything. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So send the link and I'll check it out. If you go, I don't know. I might have the link stuff off of it. But either way, there's nothing you can tell me about boiling water versus fucking whatchamacallit. We'll take that L. We're gonna put her in jail, right? And then she's gonna have to sit for whatever assault on an officer or whatever. There was not there was not a threat of death in any way, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like that's like my whole thing. But again, and my grandpa wasn't no big dude, right? If he was able to take it, ain't beat her, ain't put no hands on, ain't don't do nothing crazy. Like, come on, man. Like, there's no. As much as I talk about broads these days and how they ain't worth the fuck, right? As much as y'all hear me rant and go on my tirades, a little bit of it is hyperbole and a little bit of it is fact. But then there's just certain things, even as much as it would perturb me and piss me off to do so, there's just certain stances that you take as a man when dealing with problematic situations, right? Especially if you're trained and professional. I know niggas who ain't, and it will come down, the nigga will take them licks, they'll try to pin the broad down, whatever the fuck is going on. Like, if a citizen called 911 and said, hey, I just shot my wife in the head, she tried to throw a pot of boiling water on me. What happens? What happens? Right? What happens? There's nothing that you can tell me. Like I said, a lot of situations, this woman's in her home, right? And I feel like your home should be your sanctuary. If anything, if you feel in danger on the premises, get the fuck off the premises. Like, because, America, we have very little rights left anymore, especially, with things that are going on. Like, you're not even safe in your own fucking home these days. And I mean, it hasn't ever been. And I'm not even making this a racial thing, right? Like, you haven't seen me talk about being black or white or any of that necessarily. I'm just saying he comes off a certain way, right? There's no reason right now that he should be locked up and this woman should be dead. There's nothing that you can tell me, or maybe her in jail and him, maybe getting his little wounds treated. But it's a little boiling water going to do. You whelp you up a little bit, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? This never use a taser around water. We all gonna die. There's no nothing that you can sell me, man. It is just like it is what it is. Like, and I've thought about it. I've tried, because again, like I like to play devil's advocate. I love to play devil's advocate, but there's nothing that you can tell me that I like the boy. Clear and present threat of death, right? Again, Knife, you give me a knife, you give me a gun, something like that. Absolutely. I get it. I understand. Hey, protect yourself. You're trying to make it home to your family. You get burnt up with a little boiling water. I'm not undermining. Like, I fucking burnt myself while I was cooking. Fucking little grease popped me in the stomach. That's what I get for cooking with no shirt on. It was not pleasant. It was not pleasant. I ain't go punch down on the stove. It's like, okay, I had that up a little too high. Let me turn that down. Step back, right? Boiling water. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's going to be okay. Not saying that it couldn't possibly, depending on how much gets going to, but she's not going to be, it's not a situation. She's going to dump a whole pot of boiling water on you. And you're going to get burned. You might get a little splash, a little tad. Uniform gets a little warm at the worst, right? You talking about it got to her feet. Okay. And if that was her throwing it, it only got to your feet. What is there? You can't sell it to me, man. Like, you can't sell it to me because it's deeper than just the boiling water. It's like, what are you doing? If the investigation is concluded, the reason that the call was made is done, why are you still there? Right? This isn't the first call she made. This ain't the first time. Again, I think they said that she had been called before. I didn't either. That's what I say. Well, after the stream, I'm gonna look up. Matter of fact, let me look in the thing. What's up, TD? What's the motherfucking deal? Trilla's a hater. We know. Yeah, like immediately goes to, I'll shoot you in your fucking face, or however you word. Let me bring it back just to get the exact word. Let me make sure it's verbatim. That goes from very angry. Like, this lady is a small little fucking whatever. She done. It's a headshot, man. Almost like sniggled at the fact that it was a headshot. Right? What does he say? Where am I going? First he tells you, go get the pot. Then says, where am I going? Where are you going? He's going, away from your hot steaming water. If you felt it was a threat then, why don't you get off the property? Why don't you just get off the property? And if she comes after you, something like, then, handle matters accordingly. Right? Like, there's nothing that you can sell me. There's nothing that you like, bro, because I'm a large man, bro. Like, and again, I take into account, I'm sure Trill can agree, and I'm sure there's other large men in here, right? And as much shit as we talk, as much crap as I talk, about women, and sometimes even not, I'm talking bringing back the slap limits and all that. Like, I'm not putting my hand on the broad. The worst you're gonna get out of me is to restrain a woman and to not allow her to hit me for. It's been multiple occasions, right, throughout my lifetime where a woman has felt angry or whatever, or just and it swung. Sometimes is inadvertently connected, right? Like, unexpected. Like, and the two things I'm gonna do: one, if she's continuing to be aggressive and move forward, I'm gonna pin her. Hey, try to distance, get away from me, or I'm gonna walk away, right? Because I know what I am physically capable of. Right. And what I'm capable of is above and beyond that hit. That, what am I pissed about it? Yeah, or we handle situations accordingly, diplomatically, once everything gets calmed down, or as diplomatic as it can. But I know the what you're gonna get from me is gonna change your life. So why I don't want to do that. Right. I don't want, that's not what I'm going, because you're in a moment of anger, you're in a moment of upset, like in a temporary situation. Right. Again, I'm not in law enforcement. I don't deal with these things on a day-to-day. I'm not trained. I'm not a professional. But when these things happen, as mad as I've been sometimes, as mad, look, hey, call your brother, call an uncle, call somebody. Like, I needed to, like, and that don't happen, because then you know where it's going to go. Like, again, it's, and I'm not going to say it's many times. It's been a few times, right, that it's happened. But it's just like, you chill. You got to. You have to. Right? Because when I couldn't live with myself, and the repercussions afterward, like, and thinking about, damn, why? What did you? There's no way. I could not. Absolutely not. Let's see. Like, to me, that's why I said it almost felt like roid rage to me. You know what I mean? Because it's just like you got so angry so fast at the situation, like the rational response was just kind of skipped over. right? I'm getting away from you and your hot steaming water. All right, well, we're out of here. We're gone. Right? That's that. And I can see, hey, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Maybe spreading your holy water, whatever. Like I could see that coming and all that. Even then, right? I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You've probably seen that motherfucker splashing holy water and all that. Like that's not my religious forte or my thing, but I'm just trying to put two and two together as we're watching this, as I'm thinking about it, and we just kind of rocking live, right? That's not my forte, but that's what I've seen. They splash a little holy water, they do whatever. Again, if you thought there was a threat of hot, steaming, boiling water coming at you, why wouldn't you kind of remove yourself from the possibility of that being a thing? Right? Just my personal thoughts about it. This could have been avoided. Let's see. Let me see. Uh Like I said, I think that she picked it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, he knew that. Come on, man. Like, come on, Sal. Like, let's be honest. And again, I agree with you. I believe the news shows. I think the news has an agenda. I'll look at the other cam here in a minute. I'll pull it up. But it just if living in day to day life situations, right? You know certain things. Again, a little bitty woman. This is a situation that could have been completely avoided, right? We know women are emotional. Women can't control themselves. I didn't think I was gonna just let y'all all the way make it right. I was gonna have to say something. Um, and like I said, to me, if the pot was picked up, the pot was dropped, and that's what you get, right? And again, she wasn't gonna make it throwing up her. She's a little weak woman, barely. If she did pick up pot, she's barely able to fucking do. She ain't got the velocity. There's no way. There's no way. You can't sell it to me, right? And again, can't sell it to me because this is a situation where, again, if there was a threat of someone on the outside of the premises, why are we on the inside of the premises? Why are we here? Why are we on the end? Like, why? What do we do to allow this situation to occur? Because if I call and I say, hey, man, there's somebody outside my house, I feel like, blah, 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 blah. What the fuck are you doing in my house? You say you checked the perimeter and see nothing? All right, cool. All right, I thank you. Appreciate it. You guys be safe out there. Oh, we need to come in. What the fuck we need to come in and talk about? Say it was somebody on the outside. I know everybody who's on the inside. Like, what do we need to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Like that's my thing. It just never should have got to that point. Because you told her to go check the pot. You told her to go do these other things. Like, let her go on about her way back in her house and she'll handle her own thing. She'll deal with her pots and whatever. She burned her own house down. That's a job for the fire department or whatever. Like, it don't add up. And you got a guy again. You can't, there's nothing you can sell, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. I've been kicked out of the fucking military. I've been kicked out of fucking 5 other fucking police departments. For what reason do you get kicked out of all of these places? Right. There's all some form of misconduct. I guarantee you's a repeat offender for the same stuff over and over again. Right? Like over and over again. Again, if you're the person that's calling me, and you have a concern about somebody outside, again, a small woman, I don't know if the kids live with her. They said somebody are having kids. Again, scared, fearful for herself. Where is the level of remorse, right? Or where is the level of, I don't want to say compassion. I don't even have to say remorse or compassion, but it's just to be a level in which you should deal with certain individuals, right? Sensitivity training, if you, I don't fucking know. Because again, a lot of these situations, we might have a different outcome. This one, you can't sell it to me, bro. There's nothing you can't. Let me see. Let me look up the name. Let me see. Video title. I'm gonna look it up right now. Let's see if we can find it. Like, I'm gonna be the first one to look at it. Like, even from a legal aspect, like, you got to prove this to a jury. All right, a jury of peer. I don't want to stop doing that. Stop fucking doing this. That's where it's going to go. You're going to have to convince a jury that, and again, all you're going to need in that jury gets you a couple of single women, a couple of single mothers in that jury. It's a wrap. It's over with, right? Because how are you going to convince them? Like, how are you going to? What are you going to convince? You get a few. You look at somebody who sees her dressed kind of like, again, because the first perception I got before I saw that she was 36, before I got all the information, she looked like an older woman, right? So when they watch that video, somebody's going to relate, almost like I thought about, like my grandmother, something like, and they're thinking about this woman in her home by herself or whatever, being afraid. Like that whole context of the situation, right? If we're talking about having to play out in court, what you have to, the evidence means one thing, and evidence is important, right? But more of this is about what are you going to make that jury believe? If you have to convince this jury of this, this, and this, what can you make that jury believe? It's going to be extremely difficult. It's going to be extremely difficult to convince a jury, right? Unless you got the right 12 motherfuckers. Benno, what's the motherfucking deal? I hate this here. Jeremy G, 84, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see if I missed you. I ain't this is Sal. When is it Sal or Sal? I'm fucking know. Okay, see, I need my glasses. What's the motherfucking deal? I ain't shout out to you earlier. So my deal is though, like I said, he shouldn't even be in there. He should have been on the premises to be giving a damn about the I switch my little things over to the thing. I don't say hi to you anymore, Heidi, because you took away my OF discount. I'm mad about that. Nah, let me see. I'm gonna pull it up over here. And let me see if I can search for it. Let me mute that because I don't want to start playing out of nowhere. Do 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 do. And let me see. Here we go. I believe it's this one. Damn. Damn ad here. Oh, bro, I'm not for watching a 12-minute fucking video. It was a fucking long ass fucking video. All right. I think this looks to be a similar angle. Let's see. We'll watch a little bit. I'm not cutting the audio on. I don't know what all the fuck he's talking about. Let me pull this up for y'all. What time is it? We have reached the 1 hour mark. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch this real quick. We're gonna wrap it up after this. But if y'all want to jump in the Discord, have a little bit of conversation, we can chop it up in the Discord a bit if you want to talk some shit. We can discuss this case a little bit more. We'll hop in the voice chat. And actually, that may be a better idea. Let's do that. That's what we're gonna do. I got the link here. So what we'll do, I'm gonna put the let me put the Discord link in if y'all want to jump in the Discord, chop it up in the voice chat. And then we'll have a further discussion about this. We can kind of break it down like the olden ways. I mean, we used to have to break down certain disagreements back in the day. Hasn't been any of those in a while, but yeah. Here's the thing: if Trump wants to give police total immunity, give it to him, right? And what that means, what's the deal? BA from the Big BM. Shout out to Mr. Anderson. But this is what we're gonna do. Like I said, we'll jump in the Discord. We're gonna chop it up about that like we used to back in the day. But again, if police are gonna get total immunity, more black people should become police. What's the problem? Like I hear niggas Project 2025 and oh my god, Trump's gonna send back the illegal immigrants. Oh, he's gonna take away the rights from the gays. Oh my god. Like let's stop the nonsense. Let's stop all the tomfoolery and fuckery. And you know what the worst thing is, and I didn't want to get political all this stream, but we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. I've been posting certain little stuff on the gram, right? About what's her name? Whatever it is. What's the Punjabi president? God damn it, what's her damn name? something Harris. Kamala. Kamala, there you go. Kamala Harris. Oh, I'm killing that. I'm an IG murder. You got to say like, oh, I'm beating people down. I've been doing numbers on. I've been doing hate numbers on IG, and I've been enjoying it. I don't want to do it, but I'm enjoying it. But anyway, so Discord link. That's right. That's right. That's right. Drop the Discord link in here, and then damn, Discord got to update and shit. So give me just a moment while all that. But yeah, so they've been getting very upset about it. And I'll be honest, like a lot of the comments don't even show up. I got to go back and check the shit. And the question always get like this. This is why I say niggas, y'all have lost the black folks have lost me, right? Because these motherfuckers. This is why I say like we're so politically inept. And I'm not telling you to go out and vote. I'm not telling you to fucking go out and goddamn it, son of a bitch. Set my fucking shit up all different amounts. That's all being checked. All right, give me a second. I gotta. It's my fucking display. I gotta fuck my display. Let's do this. So, all right, there we go. I'm back to angry everybody. All right, excuse me. I'll do that. Cool. So put the damn link in for the voice chat. Y'all know the saying, right? Y'all know it's too late now. I gave y'all a chance. Meet me there or beat me there. Don't meet me there. But again, like I said, I'm already in that thing. It's been awesome. We've had a good Discord conversation. So make sure y'all join. Like I said, we'll play the other video so you guys can see the other angle. And like I said, we'll do that. Let me give me a second to put this in the chat. And shout out to Charleston White because that motherfucker is hilarious. That's probably the only reason I keep coming back to the goddamn internet. All right, just drop the link for the Discord. Make sure y'all in there. We're gonna get in there. We're gonna chop it up. Oh, I just deleted the goddamn window with the video in there. Give me just a second. What was the name of that shit again? Right here. All right. So again, man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I thank each and every one of y'all for being the amazing people that y'all are. If you're out up to some shenanigans on a Friday night, you be careful. Leaning stream. I know I've been neglecting y'all this week. I'm leaning to streaming on the weekend. Sauce. I know the sauce folks be like, Hunter, fuck you. Your sauce done dried up. Can't dip the nuggets. Can't do nothing. Next week. It's been each week I've been saying I'm gonna get into some shit and I don't. And because I got a different little approach I want to do with that, and I finally kind of reorganized my presentation a little bit, so I'm gonna be doing things a little bit different. Now I'm gonna start going full speed ahead the various platforms. So with that being said, man, I thank each and every one of you again, and as always, it is my honor, it is my privilege, but more than anything, it truly is my pleasure to get to chop it up with you lovely people, you amazing people, you wonderful people, each and every opportunity that we get. And I thank y'all, right? I really do. And so, with that being said, do 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 do. Really good confidence like NFL. That's funny. All right, I'm in this thing. All right, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. I'm chugging up a deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. But most of all, take care of yourselves, man. You know I appreciate y'all, man. And manana, let's rock. We'll rock tomorrow night. For good or for better or for worse. We're gonna rock tomorrow night. All right, I'm out. Into the Discord. I'm in the Discord already, so no excuse.